welcome out to the Nerd Effect News Show. We are on episode number 4. I am one of your anchors, Dustin Vancouver, joined by my 3 good compatriots,
Nakamogi,
Mason Ireland,
Nikki Brindle.
Yay! And we're back from one of the most monumentous weekends we've had in quite some time. Did you just turn our podcast into a Backstreet Boys song?
Guess who's back?
I thought she was doing Slim Shady.
Oh, what's the Backstreet's back? All right. That's kind of what I was thinking of.
Okay.
And I totally just sang it to the world. So you're
You
welcome.
just outed
did.
yourself as a Backstreet Boys fan is what you did.
No.
Yeah.
Come on, if you don't know the beginning of that song, regardless of what genre you primarily listen to, you've been completely out of touch with the
actually
world
live in the
last,
90s.
Yeah.
You should sing the first couple bars of it and try and get it stuck in everyone's head, because that song's an earworm. Like,
Hey, how? Yeah, see, that's why I shouldn't be singing. I can't do that.
I think
can't
that's
do
exactly
that.
what you should be, actually.
Oh my God, we're back again. Whoa, man, we're off to a great delusional start. So, yeah, epic weekend of epicness, guys. Yeah.
Epic weekend is epic.
I have to say, actually, I had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun at Tree City. Had a lot of fun at Tomodachi. Had a lot of fun, at all the cons we went to this year.
Library, Fandemonium.
Library, Fandemonium. I'm kind of glad con season's over. I need a break for a couple of months.
I want
Oh,
more.
I agree. A break is needed, but I still am having some con withdrawals.
I miss
Well,
food.
we had in March we have the gaming convention,
Yes,
which I don't remember the current name of it.
I think it's Gem State Game Con, something like that.
See, of all the cons, this was the one that appealed to me the most, though, because I'm like a general sci-fi / comics nerd. So, like Fandemonium was a super blast, but it was mostly anime. The gaming one, I'm sure, is going to be a hoot and a half, but I'm not a huge gamer anymore. I mean, if we're talking retro games, I'm all over that shit.
Well, no, this is not video games.
It's all tabletop?
It's tabletop games.
Okay.
Oh, that I didn't know.
I'm a
Yeah.
newbie in that stuff, then.
Yeah, me too.
By the way, we got his card, right?
I believe so.
I lost it.
You're fired.
It's okay.
No, it's okay. We didn't just have to go
Because
to.
actually, I think after you left Mason,
Yeah.
he actually came by the table.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
I was saying,
It's a thing,
If one of
and
you
we're
guys
gonna
might
be
have his
talking
card,
to
but also it's easy to get a hold of him because he's at All About Games every Tuesday night
Oh,
for a board game night.
well, that's nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that should be easy enough then. Well, let's recap this weekend.
Yes.
So we got a lot of awesomeness at the top of our next show. You're gonna hear some really cool intros. We got John Rhys Davies, also known as Gimli from Lord of the Rings series. He was in
Now you're going to
Sliders.
telling people all about it when you should have just left it as a secret. Just had to pop in.
Uh,
It would be like,
again-
holy shit!
Again, I already said it on my Facebook page, so it's not
I
a
didn't
horrible
see it.
secret.
I was going to say, yeah, none of us saw it.
Like the day after the con or the day of, I definitely put it up. Then again, we were so busy with everything.
I was going to
we
say,
may
but
have missed that wall post.
I was going to say my.
Or you might have done a Nikki and started to post it and then set your phone down and not actually hit post.
No, I posted it because I was getting comments on it
Okay.
and stuff.
Okay. So.
Well,
But
fine.
no, have you be like, couldn't just let him be secret and pop up and be like, oh my god, boom, heads exploding. No, you had to go and tell people about it.
Okay, well then I will save the Gimli one for the next podcast, and you'll be surprised by the one we use.
Okay.
Because
that?
when things that are awesome happen, you want to tell all the people about it. Like,
But sometimes you gotta.
if
you
you
gotta
get
hold it in.
100% on your math final and you want to tell everyone right away because you got 100% on your math final.
Again, congratulations.
Hey,
on that.
thanks. I got 100% on my math final, guys. And I completed it in half the allotted time. High five. Come on. Yeah.
Hoi.
Oi.
That was a long distance high five, just so you guys
Yeah.
know.
Actually, no, I was puking. Is what that was. It was
Oh.
a dry heave.
It was
No, just kidding. It was really a high five.
Dry heaving at Dustin,
but yeah,
We puke
the
high five. It's fine.
at least let me give big thanks to John because that man completely did it for free. I had to go through his agent and wait in line for about 20 minutes to do it.
You talked to John Rhys Davies' agent, though.
I did. I talked to his
Like,
agent, but
You went through official channels and
yeah.
shit.
The only caveat to it was that he couldn't actually use any of the voice characters.
Yeah.
But
he's
he
Scottish,
is-
so he has an awesome accent.
Yes, and he has I mean, his voice is Gimli, so it's not like you had to do any modifications to it. So,
And also, I never remember the name of the character, but from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
yeah, I don't remember either. He was also in Sliders,
Yeah.
which I was a huge fan of back in the day.
Oh God, I forgot about that show.
I love Sliders.
Oh my God, I think I.
I think it's on Netflix.
Okay,
I need to go back and watch
guess
it
what
again.
I'm watching after I finish my X-Files watch through again.
And then the other voice actor was
No.
super awesome.
Don't say.
I won't say his name, but he was super awesome and did an intro for us. Also, I got yelled at by the King of Hell. Mm-hmm. That was freaking amazing. Mark Shepard was there.
May's terrible.
Yeah, May's terrible. It's a good story for the show, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I still think Mark Shepard's a super awesome guy. I just wish it would have gone down differently, because here's the short and sweet of it. I decided he's gonna be the first person I ask, because he's only there for one day, to do this recording for an intro for a podcast. So I was like, what could it hurt? I can maybe at least ask. Maybe I can just pay his photo fee, and maybe he'll be willing to, instead of taking a photo, be able to record an intro for us. I thought that would be super cool. Get up to him, ask him the question, and he went off on a fucking 5-minute tirade about.
There was a lot of arm waving.
A lot, yeah.
We were at our booth watching this.
And
shit
Jen,
go down.
I saw the look on Jen's face when I was walking back, and she's like, and so when I got back to the table, I was eerily freaked out, because he basically went off on a 5-minute tirade of how much he gets paid for voice acting work, which, according to him, is about $1,000 a line. Or basically, if he gets asked to read a page of anything, it's instantly $1,000. And it basically boiled down to, if I do that for $1,000, what makes you think I would do that for 40? And it was just like, well, okay. I apologize. I'm sorry I've wasted your time. And then my immediate thought was, in that 5 minutes, you could have just fucking done it.
And made $40.
And made $40
to him,
bucks.
$40 is nothing.
I know, it's a drop in the bucket, but
Yeah.
still. Anyway, I got
It's like a drop next to the bucket.
I got berated by the King of Hell, and it was pretty awesome. So, Mark Shepard, stay awesome. I'm sorry to have bugged you, and thank you for schooling me.
Broke his little nerd heart, Mark Shepard. Not that you'll ever listen to this. Yeah.
Let's see. I got a few video interviews. One of my favorite people, Nicole Brune. Sorry, I found out it's pronounced Brune, not Bruni.
Yes.
Over the weekend. So sorry, Nicole. We got an interview with her. She's one of my favorite pinup artists. That's basically on the internet right now. She's super awesome.
Does a lot of cosplay pinups.
Yeah, so she's done paintings of Yaya Han and Jessica Nigri and all sorts of cool stuff. I got an interview with Tracy, the hot nerd girl, who was super awesome. We also had a panel together about blogging and podcasting.
She gave me a button.
And she gave Nikki
Well,
a
give
button.
you a button to give me.
Yeah.
Nerd girls of the world unite.
That video's already up. So
Yep.
if you haven't seen it, it's up on our YouTube page. You can probably also scroll through our Facebook page. I posted
It's also
it
in
there
the
too.
newsletter,
Also the newsletter.
which went out an hour ago
yeah.
as of recording this.
Bam.
And we also got an interview with Joni Brosis, cosplayer, Playboy nerd girl. She's pretty badass. That was super awesome for her. She actually was super nice enough to wait while we were getting our picture taken with John Rhys Davies.
Oh.
It was like,
She came up while they were doing that.
yeah, so the interview was kind of quick, but she was super nice enough to wait around, and she just kind of looked at some of the
She
other
was
swords and
super
stuff.
nice.
And we also got interviews with our good buddy Professor Algernon.
Yay.
And Castiel.
It was finally good to do a podcast with him, and yes, Castiel was there. We'll let you figure that one out, because
I'm excited for that video to go up.
yeah,
And he said,
the Castiel one. We'll leave that one as a surprise too, because he's a good buddy of ours, and he his
amazing.
impression. Oh, sorry, his possession of Castiel
bye, Castiel.
by Castiel was pretty fucking epic.
He made so many teenage girls so happy. Just
Yeah.
walking around going, Leviathan!
No, yeah, it was pretty badass. I think we heard him at least yell at least 4 or 5 times over the course of the day.
Didn't get old
No.
at all.
No.
And then there was Dancing Deadpool.
Mike, tell us about Dancing Deadpool.
I danced.
Mike danced and we got it on video.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
with Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yes.
With Lady Deadpool.
Yes.
Who was dancing for like 11 hours and it was amazing. And I think she listens to our podcast now because she followed us.
Yeah, she followed us in like every medium that we have out
Yeah.
there. She signed up
Which
for our
is
page.
rad because I decided we
Facebook,
need to be
Twitter.
friends with her because she and I decided we need to do, oh no, I forget what it's called.
Deadpool Harlem Shake.
Yes, Deadpool Harlem Shake next year. So all you Deadpools, email us. We want to have a room full of Deadpools and like one death shot?
Deathstroke.
Deathstroke, thank you.
Oh,
Brain fart.
Deadshot, somebody different.
Yeah.
So by next Tree City Comic Con,
We're going to organize a
gonna
Deadpool
organize.
Harlem Shake video. It's going to be fucking hilarious.
I hope what they'll do is they'll if it's at the same place, I hope they let us use the bird's nest to do it so we can film it from top down.
See, the problem is, though, you need to have the people just, like, randomly appear, which means it needs to be an empty space.
Doesn't necessarily. You could do it like flash mob style.
That's
So
true.
if you just have one guy stand in the middle of the room,
But I
just
want to do... Yeah.
and then
This is an audio
and-
podcast, remember?
I know, but I'm sure
He
they
was
can
dancing.
visualize it.
He was doing the dance.
And then we have, and then we just have like people just randomly walking
And, like,
around.
one Deadpool in that
And
horse
then-
mask that's in all the videos. Yeah. It'll be great.
And then just immediately people start, and then just like bam,
Rip off
12
trench
Deadpool. Yeah,
coats and-
12 Deadpools immediately in the room, just just acting
Yeah.
like asses. It'll be fun. Man, what was you guys have awesome moments? Meet anybody cool?
Like, all the people were cool. I don't even know where to begin. There's just so many awesome people that we met, and so many awesome costumes.
Everybody was
Yeah.
amazing.
What was you guys?
I'm still a little bit overwhelmed.
Yeah.
You guys had favorite costume?
Few.
You can cover different ones than we're in the newsletters.
Yeah.
We can post those pictures.
Well, I haven't had a chance to read the newsletter because you only did an hour ago.
Well, you told me what your favorite was.
So he's not one of the ones that have read our newsletter.
Okay, so like 6 people. We figured out this like 9 people. and
Anyway.
opened it. Yeah.
Favorite
As
costume,
of a few minutes
I'd
ago.
have to go with the Lilu and Corbin couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really well done.
That was pretty great.
How about you, Mason? How was your favorite memories? And
Well, as far as costumes go, I still got to hand it to the Rebel Legion and the 501st.
oh
They
man,
make me so
They're
happy.
just so amazing at their Star Wars costuming.
And the people
It's-
taking their droids out for walks.
Yeah, and the R2 Builders Club. There are series units because not all of them were R2 units. Yeah, and that kind of Star Wars nerd. I can identify the different
One of them was
ones.
we saw an R4, didn't we?
It was an R5.
R5.
and the little
I'm sorry.
repair bot or whatever.
And the mouse
droid.
Mouse
Yeah.
droid. Yeah.
That one I knew.
Oh, I forgot his name. The Borg guy.
Yeah, I'm actually friends with him on Facebook now. He's been 3D printing an Iron Man costume.
Sweet.
what?
Yeah, for a friend. So his board costume, he 3D printed the plates.
Yeah.
Oh, it's badass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah, I know.
the mounts for the LEDs. I was talking to him forever. He's a super nice guy.
Yeah.
He
He had-
follows us now. He might be listening to this. Hi. But he was posting all these really cool pictures of like 3D printing this Iron Man costume, and he put up a video because I was like, I would love to see a video of this in progress. So I haven't watched it yet because I didn't have a chance to because I was newslettering. But yeah. He was super rad. That was a great costume, especially when he came back the second day with all the makeup going
Yeah.
on. That was an awesome sauce.
I would say for originality, I actually like Joni's elf costume that she wore the first day because it's not a specific character; it's just an elf.
Yeah, that was really good. I
It
saw
was just
pictures.
generic, but like it could have fit so many different fantasy genres, like different, like different video games or different movies. That
Right.
It was a good elf costume. It was I totally identifiable as an elf. There was no question about it, but it wasn't a specific, like, oh, this is Lord of the Rings or this is D&D.
I liked that. I didn't see it in person, but I saw the picture of it.
There was a table at the end of their row, which you may have seen, called Monsters and Mascara.
Yeah,
And the lady, her whole booth was just basically her doing makeup on people
right.
all day long. And it's like Hollywood
awesome.
style
Yeah.
type crazy demon makeup that she had the second day. I didn't see the first day, but
There was a link that popped up on my Facebook feed today that I meant to share, and then I couldn't find it again. And it was somebody who did eye makeup that was inspired by different superheroes.
oh yeah.
Oh my god, it was fucking cool. I need to find it because
The Spider-Man one was my favorite.
I liked the Batman one because before I even saw that it was based on superheroes, I was like, oh, that makeup looks like Batman, but it wasn't like the bat symbol or anything like
yeah.
that. It was just
Right. It was so normal-ish looking
Yeah.
eye makeup. Yeah. I was saying, for non-pros, I actually really like the guy who was dressed as Starbuck from the original Battlestar Galactica.
that guy's
Oh, yeah, yeah.
helmet was so cool.
Yeah, his helmet
fucking
was
lit up with-
his
yeah.
helmet was awesome. It was so perfect.
They chatted with us for a while too, and I
Yeah.
think he said that they follow us on Facebook now
Book
too.
of Faces?
Yeah, so I think that they
And
were
also
gonna combine us again.
to the people who were at Tree City Comic Con who came up to us and we had no idea who you were,
And
but
said you listened.
it said you listened to our podcast.
Blew
Thank
our
you.
minds.
It blew our minds.
Yeah.
We were honestly blown away by that. Thank you very much.
I can't
Yes.
decide what blew my mind more, that or getting bear hugs from Xander. Like, yeah, that was my highlight.
I feel like we should half address that right now, but
Okay. I finally got up the nerve to go get a free hug from Nicholas Brennan because I didn't have friends all that much growing up, but I watched Buffy and that made it okay. Like, I had some friends, but I had social anxiety, so I didn't leave my house all that much. But Buffy made me feel like not being normal was a good thing. And I went up to him and he's like, "You look like you want a free hug." And I said, "Well, yes, I do." And he gave me a big old bear hug. And I was like, "I just want to say thanks for Buffy, because it was great."
and what else did he tell you?
And then he's like, "What's your name?" And I go, "Nikki." He goes, "Me too. I like the cut of your jib," and gives me another hug. So
And that was the day after his incident.
after his arrest, poor guy.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, for the record, I'm pretty sure the only reason that got blown up as big as it did is because he's famous. It sounds like he just
Exactly.
got belligerent, knocked a plate over, and then didn't want to sit when the cops were trying to talk to people.
He had pain meds he was taking
Mm-hmm.
because of I would think it was an abscess under
cyst.
his knee.
Yeah.
Cyst
On
under
his
his
knee.
knee, yeah.
Ugh, which sounds awful, by the way.
Yeah, and then he made the mistake of drinking alcohol with his
Which I
meds.
can vouch for what a difference that makes. Because turns out it makes a huge difference, which I was not aware of until I learned the hard way. So I think that he's a great guy and he made me feel awesome. And I totally turned
And he
into
still
one of those-
showed up on day 2 like
Yeah.
a fucking champ.
He did
Yeah.
cancel his panel, but I think that was probably more his agent's idea than his because they probably didn't want the questions that were going to happen.
It's like, yeah, what the fuck happened last
Yeah.
night? Yeah, that's not really on the
That's-
menu.
Yeah, not the point of having that panel. So he was great, and it made me feel like I mattered, which I think is how celebrities should respond to such things, because you might not know these people, but they feel like your character's a friend, and when you greet them as a friend, it kind of makes their everything. So yay. And he likes the cut in my jib, you guys. You know how many times I've told that story this week?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of other things. We got our boys, JT Milstead,
Mm-hmm.
who loved it this year. JT, if you're listening,
His Superman
guys
jacket
are
was
awesome.
fucking amazing.
Did you see it at all?
I don't remember.
It was
the
a
jacket.
custom. He said it was custom made.
biker jacket.
It was like a leather biking jacket,
I
motorcycle
did not see
jacket,
this one.
and it had impressions in the Superman logo. Like it was imprinted
Like embossed
in the
on
chest.
it.
Yeah, embossed.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Nice.
In the chest. It's bad, and it was just a cool looking jacket. And then you look, you're like, oh my god, that's the Superman logo. Nerd points. Like,
Yeah, it wasn't coded or anything. It was just all black.
Yeah, just
it
black
was badass.
jacket.
And
Super cool. Very subtle. I liked it. I want one.
and our boy Dan, he wow, his last name just escaped me all of a sudden.
Gorgeous, gorgeous artwork.
Gorgeous artwork.
To the right of us at the Library Con.
Oh man, hold that thought.
Milstead?
No, it's
That's
JT.
JT's
Damn
last
it.
name.
Dan Feldmeyer.
I was so
Phil
proud of
Barr, yes.
myself.
Buddy, I am sorry I forgot your last name. If you're listening, you're still one of my favorites.
That's because we were trying to remember it, and
Yeah.
that doesn't work for us.
Your arts are real pretty.
Your arts are amazing, and when I approached him at the end of the con and just kind of asked, how was your convention, and he said he told me that this was one of the best conventions he's been to, and he probably made the most money at this one that he's seen in a long time, made a lot of good connections, and
Which
There were
is
so
good.
many cool
Yeah.
people. I had a lady walk up to me at the end of it and give me a free book.
Nice.
Like, it was this fantasy author, self-published. I'm working on reading it. I have not had time to really read lately. I'm going to write a review for the website, was why she gave it to me, because she just came up to me. She's wearing this gorgeous, like, Victorian gown that she made. Or not Victorian, like, medieval style gown.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm having so many brain farts. And she just came up to me and she's like, "Can I talk to you about my book?" And I was like, "Sure. I have no idea who you are, but tell me about your book. I love books." And it's like dragon fantasy stuff, which I haven't read. It's been a while since I've read what I personally consider to be a straight up fantasy novel. I used to love Anne McCaffrey when I was younger, but it's been a while. Because I've been on this like horror sci-fi kick, so I was listening to her, and she was super into it. Like, you can tell it's something that she's very, 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 very passionate about. So I was talking to her, and I was like, I'm actually going to look into this. She's got it available for e-readers, so I said I was totally going to look into it when I get paid, and that I've been meaning to write more reviews, like books reviews and stuff for our site. And she's like, "Oh, I'll be right back. I'm going to get you a code to have a free copy of it for download." And I was like, "Oh, that's nice of you. You don't have to do that." And she comes back with an actual copy of the book autographed for me.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm still working on it. I like the stories. I'm not gonna say anything yet because I'm gonna write my review. But,
Yeah.
I like it. It's a good story. So that was really cool. We actually had people coming up to us and being like, "Hey, we know who you are."
And I'd also like to say, Tangle, if you're listening, I'm still waiting for my visit from the Money Fairy.
Yeah. What the hell?
I got my visit from the Money Fairy last week, so I'm good. And also, we met.
And your cosplay video is in the process, but I'm gonna back this up right now because I've rendered it twice. Once in regular format, which I still have. That's like my backup if I absolutely cannot get it to render in HD. And then I also have an HD render, which for whatever fucking reason, Sony Vegas said, "Hey, let's render this in full HD, but make it 386 gigabytes." And
in other words, about 100 times the size it needs to be.
yeah,
and about a third of his hard
a
drive.
third of my hard drive space in one video, one 55-minute video. So expect that to come. I'm hoping to God I figure out a different way to render it in HD because it should only be about 3 gigs, a little give or take. So expect that it will be coming. Yay!
Yay, technology.
Yay!
Can we also just say real fast, yay every parent who dressed their child up and brought them down there.
Yay!
All the little kids that were cosplaying, not just like, "Oh, let's wear a Halloween costume," but like full on, we are into this. Like, there was a Rocket Raccoon kid and his older brother was Groot. Like,
That was pretty cool.
that was awesome. There were so many, like...
Jedi, Jawa.
Yeah, so many Jedis. The Jawas were... Oh, I love the glowy eyes. There was like a full-on Ghostbusters kid with like an inflatable backpack.
Nice.
Like...
I saw him I saw the Jedi kid at the zoo again.
I like the
Same Jedi kid.
I like the Jedi kid.
Yeah,
There were some really amazing costumes, and to the parents that are not just going because their kids want to and just standing there looking bored, but like actually into it and sharing this with their children, that makes me excited.
Yeah,
Like Nomi and Tim with Sydney and William. Like,
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Sydney and William don't have a choice. They're geeks.
yeah, no, I know they're geeks, but like the fact that it's a family that's there just enthusiastically
Yes.
enjoying it together, I think is beautiful.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, they geeked themselves so hard.
oh yeah. Well, did you guys hear what John Rhys Davies told William? When he becomes an astronaut, he has to come back and tell him because he was wearing an astronaut costume. And I think that's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, the highlight of my cons is always seeing the kids in costumes, but just seeing entire families being genuinely enthusiastic.
And that's the shit you gotta cherish too, because
yeah.
you don't know how long John's gonna be around anymore, and especially as a kid, if not knowing him, you can learn his history going back as.
Well, Nomi posted the next day that they were watching Lord of the Rings, so I'm assuming it was
Yeah.
to help them appreciate that's who that was.
Yeah, I started recording our intro from John about a minute prior before he actually recorded it, and I got a whole minute of him just giving my little sister-in-law Katie just life lessons, and it was pretty awesome.
That's pretty special. Yeah, it was great. It sounds like there's going to be another one next year. It sounds like it did well.
Well, Kevin already said he's planning on it, so
Okay,
like
good.
when you weren't here for that interview.
No, I
but
wasn't. I was
were
in Portland.
when we were talking with Kevin, he said he's already got plans for season
Good.
2. So
Good, because I think it went well, and I think that the only little hiccups that there were just first-year con issues that
Well, that's
they're
the
going to
thing.
iron out nicely.
any first time anything happens, especially when
Oh,
it's
yeah.
big in public like a con,
Running something with that many people, there's going to be hiccups.
there's going to be hiccups, and
Yeah, the Taco Bell kept running out of food. And
they ran
Wait,
out
is
of
is that serious?
Taco Bell
yeah.
ran out of like a lot of food and like all the sodas.
it was amazing.
I didn't know that could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Taco Bell employees.
Well, I'm sure
They're
all
like,
of them.
stop coming here, nerds.
I'm sure, they got the freaking Wendy's there, the McDonald's there. There's the Dairy Queen just up the road.
I bet they made more money
Wendy's?
that weekend than
Carl's
they
Jr.?
usually do, though.
Well, yeah,
Oh, there's
Wendy's,
also the
Carl's
Wendy's
Jr.,
over by
Fred
Freddy's.
Meyer.
yeah, Fred Meyer's.
Yeah,
And Fred Meyer itself.
And Fred Meyer. But Fred Meyer probably wasn't running out of things.
No.
it would just be really nice if this would become like a nice big. It would be good, I think, if they had it on Saturday, Sunday next year, because I think Friday was a little slow because a lot of people were in school and at
And
work. Yeah,
And in the case of this weekend, there happened to be a BSU home game.
yeah.
So,
I think that Saturday, Sunday would be a good idea, but I actually kind of liked having it on Friday, Saturday because it meant we had Sunday to recuperate.
I say make it straight up 3 days.
That would be good too. But
you have to have content for
Yeah.
how many ever days you have, though. And that sometimes can be a trick.
yeah, like that might
I
be
know.
a future goal, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
like it just, there was just some little logistical things, like minor things, like your panel.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let me get back to that because the panel, I kind of got lucky because I on Friday night I went around like literally about an hour before the con closed, and it's starting to die down. It wasn't the busiest day by any means because of the previously said situations. So I stepped away from the booth for a minute just trying to check out the con, see what was going on. I stopped by the Hot Nerd Girls booth, and I was like, oh, I'll sign up for her mail list right there on her sheet. And I wrote down my name, and she goes, Dustin Vancouver, aren't I on a panel with you tomorrow? I'm like,
What?
excuse me? I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm on a panel with you tomorrow. He's like, here, let me check the schedule. So she had a copy of the updated schedule there at her table, and there it was, Saturday at 11 o'clock in the morning, panel room 2, Dustin Vancouver.
Which I hear you
and
did awesome. So
From what I understand, I did. You two were there.
You didn't do bad.
I'll take it.
Well, I understand why you were nervous, worried about it going up there, but you're a personable person, Dustin. You're relaxed, you're calm, and you get along with pretty much everybody on the planet, so there was really no reason.
Well, it's funny you say that because I was only nervous up to the point where I actually sat down. Like, once I sat down and looked out at everybody,
being
Like,
behind a table
immediately-
fixes things.
and the fact that I was up there with somebody
Yeah.
kind of helps that too, especially somebody who probably has a far more significant following than we do.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
But yeah,
Although I like
That
your
was awesome.
response to the, so how do you make money at this question?
I know, and all I said was, well, when you find out, let me know. Because we really don't make money at this. This is seriously just for fun. We do this once a week as an excuse to hang out, so...
I made a comment about
well,
that
not once every 2 weeks.
to Ange
but
this
until
morning
further
because I spent
notice.
all day finishing up the robot guy for the prize for the Nerd Effect Junior.
Which, by the way, looks awesome.
I love him so much and I want to keep him for me, but I'm not going to because I love you guys more, audience members. So enter the contest to name the Nerd Effect Junior mascot and you can win this super cute crocheted robot doll. Anyways, so I was doing that and making the newsletter all day. Like, all day, not even joking, all day. And I come out, I'm like, I know it seems probably a little ridiculous to spend this much time working on something that I don't make money at, and Anne just kind of goes, yeah. And I'm like, but it's really, really fun, and I get to meet cool people, and we love them.
Yes.
Yes.
It's awesome sauce.
Yeah, it's good to have hobbies.
It is good to have hobbies. Thank you. And I thankfully have a wife who recognizes that, and that's why I'm here.
And it means I get to hang out with you guys bi-weekly, which is great.
Aw. It's just
feels
one big verbal hug
Heart.
up in this place. Mike looks less than...
What?
Mike looks uncomfortable with
I
that
know.
thought.
That's Mike's general expression. And now we're all uncomfortable. Okay.
That's a different kind of love,
Mike. Those are the bad touch feels. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
let's wrap the TCC thing up. So again, thanks everybody for stopping by.
You're amazing and we love you.
You're the best. And thank you for liking our page, which, by the way, we got about almost 50 new likes over the course of the last week and a half or so.
Yay.
So, yay! We're almost up to 300.
Share it with your friends.
Share it with your friends. Spread it like a venereal disease.
Gross. Don't do that. Use protection for your ear holes. little earbud
Especially
condoms.
when we let Mike talk.
Yeah, especially when we let Mike talk.
Expect videos from our interviews up in the coming weeks. I'm trying to edit them as best I can, especially with Sony Vegas the way it is.
I'm actually going to make another newsletter in 2 weeks, like I promised I would.
Yay.
Yay.
And
We have 51 subscribers to the newsletter, you guys.
we have exactly 150 pictures up on Facebook page, all from the con,
It's amazing.
and it's awesome.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you do a podcast.
All right, shall we actually do some news?
Oh.
Yeah.
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 It's
Oh,
not the
don't sound excited about that, Haley.
Conrad show?
No, that wasn't the initial.
The initiative pod?
No.
Not doing that.
Sorry, hon. 2 weeks.
I know. I was just saying it because it... Whatever. Your faces.
Your face is whatever.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Oh shit, son!
Dustin just wiped us all out.
Unanimous. One rock, 3 scissors. I'll take it.
Finish him.
On that, I'll just fucking go first.
Fatality.
Cause butter.
But
butter.
Okay, so I'm gonna thank Hinsel Scott, our buddy from the Social Geek Network of people, and because he posted this up on his timeline, and I thought it would be fun for the show. So this comes from the Business Insider, and it's simply titled, "It looks like the medical establishment was wrong about fat." So I'm just going to read this directly because it's pretty interesting. For more than half a century, the conventional wisdom among nutritionists and public health officials was that fat is dietary enemy number uno, the leading cause of obesity and heart disease. It appears wisdom was off. And not just off, almost entirely backward. According to a new study from the National Institutes of Health, a diet that reduces carbohydrates in favor of fat, including the saturated fat in meat and butter, improves nearly every health measurement from reducing the waistlines to keeping our arteries clean. More than the low-fat diets that have been recommended for generations. The medical establishment got it wrong, says cardiologist Dennis Goodman, director of integrative medicine at New York Medical Associates. The belief system didn't pan out. It's not the conclusion you would expect, given the NIH study parameters. Lead researcher Lydia Bazzano. Hold on. Okay, so basically they did a 2-group study. They did basically a high fat, low carb group, and well, here, I'll just read this. 1 year later, the high fat, low carb group had lost 3 times as much weight, 12 pounds compared with 4, and that weight loss came from body fat, while the low fat group lost muscle. Even more persuasive were the results of a blood test meant to measure the risk of heart disease and diabetes. The high fat group, despite eating nearly twice as much saturated fat, still saw greater improvements in LDL cholesterol, HDL cholesterol, and triglycerides. So, eat your butter. Eat your butter. Not your brother. Your butter.
Eat your butter, not your
cannibalism
bread.
does not result in health improvements.
Yeah, no. In fact, that shit lands you right in jail, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Depends on the culture you live in. Sometimes it's authorized at funerals.
As we all just blink at Mason.
Yeah.
What? I have a degree in anthropology.
Yes, thanks, anthropologist Mason. So basically, this is almost even support for the Atkins diet, if you think about it. High fat, low carbs. That's basically.
Yeah, just if you're going to go on Atkins, make sure you're actually working with a health professional that can do the proper measurements of your body weight index, and don't send yourself to the hospital. Don't be an idiot.
Yeah, don't eat.
Also, never pay attention to your BMI.
I got officially diagnosed as obese at my last doctor's visit. I went in because I had the flu. And I've lost weight over the last couple of years.
What'd your doctor do? Just look at you and go, by the way, did you know you're fat?
No, but it was, they weighed me, and they're like, so, our whatever management has been encouraging us to diagnose people as obese. Can I give you this printout of healthy tips to follow to lose weight? I'm like, sure. And it's all shit that I do already. And I was just like, you could look at my record and see that my weight has gone down progressively over the last 2 years. And you waited until now to diagnose me, and it made me really angry. So I don't trust BMI. I think it's bullshit.
Well, no,
yeah.
Okay, the BMI is bullshit.
Yeah.
Because the BMI, the body mass index, was invented by a mathematician, not a biologist, an MD, physical anthropologist, someone who knows anything about biology and the human body. It was meant to measure. You measure individuals, but you do not use them as individuals. You use them as data points in a group to measure overall. It is meant to measure it on a society level. So you can say this society trends towards being overweight, or this society trends to being underweight or average. It is not ever meant to be used on an individual.
I say based on that, Lou Ferrigno's fat.
Right. Based on the BMI, there's a lot of people who measure into obese ranges due to their weight and their height, but aren't, because they are made of solid fucking muscle.
Yeah, I dare you say that to his face.
Well, and in my case, I realize I could stand to lose a couple more pounds, but I'm very short, and I say I'm big boned. I'm not kidding. That's my wrist bone right there.
And the bottom line is body fat percentage.
Yeah.
It's body fat percentage.
Which mine has gone down. I'm in better shape than I've ever been in my life.
Yeah. I was saying it's not weight. It's not weight at all, because one, muscle is denser than fat, and two, you could weigh, and also it depends on other things you do, because certain martial arts teach you. One of the things they do after you get to higher belts is you consistently punch harder and harder things, and you block harder and harder things with your long bones, and you shin kick them and things like that. That repeated stressing of those bones causes them to microfracture and build back. When they build back, the trabeculi, the little beams is what it literally means, break and reform, and they reform thicker and thicker every time. So you're actually gaining bone mass. So
Science, bitches.
Is it actually enough to put on a significant amount of weight?
Yes.
Bones are heavy.
They've done measurements on Muay Thai fighters, where their shin bones weigh half again as much as an average person of their height, because they've broken them so many times that their bones are basically almost twice as dense in certain areas.
Wolverine, bitches.
Yeah.
Only biologically.
Yeah, only bone.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, granted, that's only
having
one
no
bone.
balls.
You're maybe looking at 2 pounds on the tibia.
I do remember that show Fight Science. I remember they had I think they just called them the Break Brothers or something like that.
Yeah.
Just a couple
I
of
never
brothers
saw
that
show.
that all they do is their entire career is just basically breaking shit with their head and their arms, and
Yeah.
they explained that exact same science that you just said as to why they can keep breaking things bigger and bigger every time, is because their bones recalcify.
Yeah.
So
And yeah.
I bet you have to be on a really high calcium intake for that to really you.
high protein diet
'Cause-
probably.
Well,
for the most part.
But for your bones
you need a high protein, high calcium diet. Protein, so your body does do the repairs quickly.
Yeah.
And calcium, so it has what it needs to make those repairs.
Yeah.
Also, bones are living things. They aren't static like a lot of people think they are. Your bones are constantly losing and gaining calcium. Your bones are actually calcium regulators for your circulatory system.
As a woman, I'm aware of this because I know that if I don't get enough calcium, if I wanted to have the babies and I didn't get enough calcium before doing that, once menopause hits, you're fucked.
Yeah.
That's the thing that they teach you about in health class
Yeah.
when you're female, is that you need to get your calcium in.
But to
babies will steal it.
Yeah, but to do the hard body breaking and learning how to and building up your bones like that, yeah, you need extra calcium in your diet to make it heal quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah,
Science, bitches.
Eat butter.
yeah,
Eat butter. Butter has calcium in it, right? Because it's got dairy.
yes,
Yes.
Yes, eat butter.
And
And-
protein and fat.
yeah.
Butter
Oh,
wins
and-
the things.
and also that nice T-bone steak, the rarer the better, because it actually has calcium in it. Because calcium actually helps repair muscles. So
So that bloody red steak that I always want, but I don't let myself get it.
is actually has calcium and protein in it.
Okay, now
And the rarer you keep it, the more calcium there is.
I'm gonna go buy
So
a
a nice
cow and just
medium
gnaw on
rare?
it. Which is the best
Doesn't
way to have meat.
doesn't red meat lead to heart disease though?
In large doses.
In large doses.
We're not meant to consume as much animal-based proteins as we do on a daily basis. Like, that in general is bad for you. Like, you should be getting a lot
The
of
average
your-
American consumes more everything on a daily basis than we're required to consume.
But especially if you look at our portions, like, even if you blew up the portions in other countries, the amount of, like, meat that we consume is really disproportionate. Like, it's not supposed to be as large of an amount.
Yeah.
And
Which
It's-
actually that comes from.
We'll stop making animals so fucking tasty, and we'll
I
stop
know.
eating that much meat.
I've told
I
you
mean,
guys about...
if cows and pigs didn't taste as good as they did,
Did I tell you guys about the picture Nomi sent me? Okay, so I have this conflict of interest where I used to be I'm still very animal rights oriented, but I used to be vegetarian and animal rights oriented. Mason remembers this, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I was on the PETA Street team and I had stickers with adorable baby chickens on them. They
Lord.
said, I am not a nugget, which is funny because now I call my cat Nugget. But, so I love animals and I want them all to be treated really well. However, some of them are delicious. Case in point, rabbit stew. I love rabbits. They're one of my favorite animals. Unfortunately, they're delicious and very high in protein and very low in fat.
to the point where if you only eat rabbit, you actually die because you don't
rabbit
get enough fat.
starvation. Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, it really is.
If you only ate rabbit and that was the only thing that you ate, you would starve to death.
Because your body cannot digest the pure protein. It needs something else with
Yeah.
it.
Like one,
Just like you can't actually drink distilled water.
I think it was like something like 8 ounces of rabbit has like 32 grams of protein or something ridiculous like that in it.
Yeah.
But so Nomi posted this picture because we were discussing like how I feel conflicted because I feel like people don't understand that it's okay to be pro animal rights but also a really happy carnivore. And she posted this picture and it's Snow White surrounded by all the little animals and it says, "Come to me, my proteins."
Oh, yes.
And I'm
that's
like, this
funny.
sums up my feelings perfectly.
All right. Butter.
Yay.
Mike,
News.
tell us about science.
I'm hungry for meat now.
In fact, pretty much all of ours are science-based today.
Because science is
Yeah,
awesome.
we are sciencey. Okay, so get this one before I can read it. I failed because I didn't have it ready to go. Okay.
Dare you?
Scientists create electric generator just 1 atom thick.
Yay!
Yay!
Awesome.
Everything is awesome.
So explain to us, Mike, why is this?
Yeah, was that the end of your story? That's
one-
a really fast news report.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
fastest
is
news ever.
this significant?
All right, so a team of engineers have developed an incredibly thin electronic generator, only 1 atom thick. They, let's see, how much of the sciencey stuff do I want to get into here?
All of the science.
So basically, they got it's a 2-dimensional molybdenum disulfide. It's MOS squared.
That'd be molybdenum.
Molybdenum.
Yeah.
That's a fun word.
Yeah.
Molybdenum. Also used in metal in iron to make steels that are very good in knives and swords, by the way.
Ah, yes, that explains why you would know that.
Yep.
So light, flexible, transparent, making it highly desirable for use in a nanoelectronics. Basically, researchers have theorized about taking MOS2 would be piezoelectric. So, piezoelectric. So basically, the molecules, when they're moved near each other,
Create an electric charge.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen a lighter, that kind of disposable lighter that clicks down but doesn't have a sparking wheel like a Bic,
Oh, I hate
that's
those.
those when they click down. That's a piezo. That's actually piezoelectric because it's actually tapping 2 crystals together. That when the crystals make contact, create an electric charge,
Kinda like
which lights the fuel,
Like a gas barbecue.
like a gas barbecue.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
or a
I don't like those
or a
because I
stick
don't
lighter.
think they're reliable.
They're
But-
not as reliable as a wheel in flint and steel, but
now that I know that there's like random crystals inside of them, I'm like, that's kind of cool. Now that I know how they
that's
work.
how piezoelectrics work. They have to get the molecules near each other. They create a charge.
Do, 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 do.
Lol. So, when flakes of the material between 1 and 8 atoms thick were placed on a flexible base, MOS2 was able to generate electricity as it was stretched and pressed.
Nice.
So... Alright, where is that part? Okay, there are a couple of complications with the experiments they've done so far, though. On a single atom thick MOS2 that was bent and stretched, and it was generating about 15 millivolts. The thicker the layer got, the less electricity they were able to generate, though. So basically, it's the thicker and thicker they make it, rather than it creating more electricity, it actually ends up making less and less per layer you add. So overall, it's making a little bit more electricity, but you get to a point where
Each layer is a diminishing return.
diminishing return. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. So yeah, some issues to work out there. Definitely useful for very specific nano applications.
I'm sure they've probably already thought of this, and if they'd still be in the holding pattern because we still need to figure out how to make graphene reliably. Besides Scotch tape and pencils,
I love that. That is the technique, though.
yeah. But if you could actually put it so you have one layer of the molybdenum compound, one layer of graphene, one layer of the molybdenum compound over and over again, and have it so it basically it vibrated because of temperature, having two pieces on the end that would vibrate due to temperature, you could have it so as that vibration happens and the molybdenum moves in and out closer and further away from it to create electricity, hops into the graphene because graphene likes sucking up electricity, and then can be shunted out to whatever you want.
Yeah.
I really like the way you
Copyright
described
if that hasn't been thought of yet.
Can you copyright words that happen on a podcast that's available free to the internet?
Yeah, because he just called it.
Okay.
Yeah, basically I
and
just called dibs.
This fucking
Okay.
thing's timestamped, so.
Yeah.
Those dibs, guys. Sorry.
Okay, let's do that right now. Copyright October 25th, 2014 at 10:34 p.m. Mountain Central.
All right.
Or Mountain Standard, sorry.
Mountain Standard Time, yeah.
Bitches.
Copyright Mason
Bitches.
Ireland.
And I have witnesses.
Yes,
3 of them.
3 of them.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
And also,
Okay,
totally not going to steal your idea.
3 witnesses, 2 of them may be reliable.
Mason just discovered the graphene battery. I think.
So basically, the applications that they're thinking about using it for is basically having a thin layer material basically in clothing so that as you're moving, you're able to create electricity in your clothes.
Yes. So charge your electronics in your pocket with.
Yep.
You know, I generate a lot of static electricity. Like, every time somebody walks up behind me and touches me, I zap them at work. I think it's happened to Dustin a few times. I think everyone here I've zapped, just completely
this
unintentionally.
building that we're sitting in right now, for some reason, is just, I don't know if it's not grounded or...
In general, though, I generate a lot of electricity. I think it comes from wearing layers when I ride the scooter to work
It's
for
not
winter.
even that. Like,
but
every time I walk into this building, I touch any corner in this building, I get zapped.
I zap everything, but I feel like I'd be a really good battery.
Well, see, the idea, part of that is, and they've also been working on this with graphene, is putting graphene into clothing. So as you move, it generates electricity. The graphene would be doing it because of its movement across your skin and the differential and electrical charges. So if you're staticky naturally, it would actually shunt through the graphene and into your devices is the idea.
That'd be really cool.
And the Matrix would tell you that humans do make excellent batteries.
Yes.
We just need to find some
Because the
glue.
Wachowski brothers are reliable for science.
Yes.
Stupid Jesus allegory in the third movie. Oh my
I
god.
pretend the third movie doesn't happen.
I pretend there's only one Matrix movie.
I kind of like the twins, though.
Okay, the twins were awesome.
But they were in the second movie.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying.
But they
the
were
first
like
and the second
they were
movie
like
are
the
okay.
highlight of the
That was
second
a
movie.
pretty good highlight, though. I mean, they were albino. That's a nice bright highlight right there. Yes, that was a design joke.
But
No, I liked the second movie well enough. The third one, though, yeah. They made the Jesus allegory really hard to ignore in the third one.
whatever. I enjoyed them all. Just because Matrix. And
There were
Fight
giant
scenes are
robots in the third one.
I also enjoy them because soundtrack.
Yeah, I have
But-
all of those things.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
And also, I mean, another application you could think of, like a medical implant. Like, say, something that monitors your heart. You have it placed next to the heart where it's got a material is going to be constantly bending and flexing as the heart
Moves. Yeah.
moves. Basically creating its own power so you don't have to worry about a battery that has to get replaced every so often. Mm-hmm. It basically just generates its own power and keeps itself active.
Yep.
So there's a lot of applications.
Does that mean you
for
could never die of a heart attack?
No.
Not necessarily. It's not necessarily a pacemaker, but it's a monitor.
My grandma had a pacemaker. She was, I think, 97 at the time. And she was noticing problems with her heart fluttering, so she went into the doctor to have him look at it. And they're like, oh, well, the pacemaker's functioning fine. It's just not regulating your heartbeat.
That means the pacemaker is not
Yeah.
functioning
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. I was in high school at the time. I've never attended any sort of, medical
Club.
education. Like, I've never been to, say, med school. But I know enough about pacemakers to know that if your heartbeat isn't being regulated, it's not doing its fucking job.
Yeah.
I know enough about pacemakers that it should be regulating your heartbeat, and you need to stay away from microwaves.
Oh, really?
I think the new ones you don't have to stay with microwaves anymore.
Well, I'm sure,
The
but-
one in our break room you do because you close the door. No, you open the door and it turns on.
Well,
Oh,
no,
that's
it
a
stay-
safe microwave.
It stays on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you open the door and it... Yeah, we're pretty sure Ariane has superpowers now.
And she's going to grow a sixth finger
Mm-hmm.
on one hand.
I told her that when she becomes a superhero that I want to be her minion.
Okay.
Because I really want to be a superhero sidekick. That'd be pretty badass.
But not an actual superhero, just a sidekick.
No, just a sidekick. I don't want to have to actually go through the process of getting powers because it involves either radiation or getting bit by something I really don't want to get bit by. Or being rich. And none of those are really an option for me. So...
But
I'm
you
a
would
good
mind
side-
being rich if that one came up as an option?
Oh, no, if it came up
Okay.
as an option, I would be Batman.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even care who knows. I'll buy a really good security system. You guys can all fuck yourselves. So that's my identity, but I'm going to be Batman. Not Batwoman. I don't know why. Batman. I'm going to be Batman.
Because he's the fucking Batman.
Yeah, because he's the fucking Batman. Although the new Batgirl's pretty cool, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they did announce that, too, huh?
Yeah.
The new not Batgirl, the Robin in the new movie is going to be the female version from Dark Knight Rises.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They just announced it recently.
Batman v Superman, yeah, they're gonna, female Robin.
Yeah.
I just pooped.
If any of you heard a light,
That was me
came
farting
from-
out a rainbow.
yeah, they just announced it last week or so.
That's amazing.
It was actually leaked, and then they just
Yeah.
announced it.
Yeah.
I like how the Age of Ultron trailer was leaked a day before they released it.
I know.
It makes me wonder if that was really a leak or if they were just
Well, I
trying
think what
to stir
happened,
up some hype.
from what I understand, is that it was leaked, and then I think Marvel just said, "Ah, fuck, I just put it out."
I think that it was a bunny ears leak to stir up some hype.
Yeah, because that's exactly what they need is hype. Everybody
Hey,
knows
man.
it's going to look awesome. Everybody knows they're going to go find the trailer as soon as it's released. I doubt they needed the hype for it. But it did look awesome.
It did look
and I do
awesome.
think the robot could take out Ultron.
I just made the robot do...
Kind of a victory pose.
He is kind of doing a victory pose. I feel like...
Or disco
Yeah,
pose.
that's what I was just going to say needed to happen. I'm going to take a picture of
All right.
the robot.
Anything else on atom electricity generators?
I think we covered that one pretty well.
I think we covered lots of things pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow it tangented into Robin. But whatever.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Oh, through Rich and Batman. Yeah.
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 Batman could fund it.
Yeah. Hey, Wayne Enterprises, are you listening?
There was a
Wayne and
helicopter...
Stark.
Or Stark Industries or Queen Consolidated.
When I
Yes.
walked out my front door to meet Mike today, the lights from the hospital, from the landing pad where the helicopter goes, were shining on the clouds, and it looked like the bat signal. And I
Nice,
giggled
nice.
a little. The end.
Yes. Go. So, meanwhile, in Vancouver, Canada.
Vancouver's a nice place, mostly
Yeah.
because my last name is very close to it, and Canada.
And it has a bunch of really great restaurants and a good tech industry.
Oh,
I,
Canada.
I hear they have a hotel
Okay,
there.
Canada.
I hear they have a hotel there where all
I bet they have
the
several.
all the people that work there are female dressed in lingerie. Like that's the whole hotel. All the bellhops, all the people that wait on your
Yeah, I
room
wouldn't be
service
able to
and-
do anything in a hotel like that. I
No,
would be
I'd-
scared to leave my room. I'd be like,
I'd be way too distracted.
I would
I'd have
nervous.
bruises on the side of my head from running into walls.
Yeah.
Hey, poof! Oh, shit.
Oh, there's a door.
Oh yeah, the walls are padded, so we're safe. I think. No, just kidding.
That would be smart.
Anyway, meanwhile, in Canada, see, one of the things that we haven't quite figured out yet in the great human endeavor is when exactly we made it to North America, or the Americas in general. There's a lot of debate. However, on the ocean floor off a little island called Haida Gwaii,
Wes, before you go on to this, what's the original theory right now? It's Asians crossed the channel, right, from into Alaska.
there's three major competing ones.
Okay.
Number one is the Bering Crossing, which is where there was a Bering land bridge during the last ice age because more of the water on the planet was trapped in glaciers and polar ice caps.
So the oceans were lower.
So the oceans were lower and there was no gap between Russia and Alaska.
That's how mammoths got here.
That is still by far the most popular. The next one is that, you see, there's this little country called Finland over in Europe. Finnish does not actually...
Finish him.
What's Finland known for?
I'm sorry.
Finland isn't known for much itself.
That joke is now officially what Finland is known for.
I was gonna say like cheeseality or something like that, which it was kind of cheesy.
You're cheesy.
Finland is known for shooting at Russia with Russian rifles.
Because irony.
Because World War II, but they weren't actually an Axis power. It was just that Russia was trying to invade Finland too, and Finland didn't like it.
They're also a funny shaped country.
But yeah, it's Finland. And see, Finnish, the language, is part of the Finno-Ugric language group. The rest of the Ugric languages are in fucking Asia. Or were. None of them exist anymore. A lot of them were in like Siberia. So this example is that people migrated across Asia and Europe to Finland. Some of them stayed there, and some of them continued to the east coast of the United States.
And how did they get there?
Boat.
They walked
Um,
on water.
And this must be dating way the fuck back because Native Americans have been there for a long time, no?
yeah. This is, again, these would be Native Americans.
Okay.
These are all...
Except right now they're native Finn.
Except for they've hit American shores and they're now Native Americans. Poof.
Magic is...
Magic.
Friendship is magic.
Magic is heresy.
Oh, no.
I can't stop.
But so these are two of the competing hypotheses because we don't know for sure yet. Then the third one, that was probably my phone. I don't know. Might have been yours. My buzz is still on. So,
My buzz is off.
okay, then it was my phone probably.
Buzz.
And the third one is that people went from Asia, took boats, went all the way down the west coast of the United States and Mexico into South America, and then landed. Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me.
That's called doing it the hard way.
That's called doing it the hard way, because I'd have been let me off this fucking boat a lot sooner than that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, San Francisco Bay, awesome, drop me off. Hell, Seattle, awesome, drop me off.
Port Angeles is nice.
But anyway, as you can tell, that is not my favorite hypothesis of the three. I'm actually a Bering Strait kind of dude.
Yeah.
That could have been a comment on, like, the sexuality. I'm a bearing strike. I can see somebody saying that and meaning that. Sorry.
So, anyway. Those are the main three hypotheses.
Geographic sexuality.
Your sexuality changes depending on the region of the country you're in?
Apparently.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I
mean, I don't know.
Okay. So anyway.
Does that mean the closer to Alaska you get, the straighter
I think
you
it's
get?
more like the closer to San Diego or San Francisco you get.
The gayer you get.
Yeah.
And then Portland, between the two, is just a freak show, so.
Portland's just magical. I need to go
Portland
back.
really, really is trying hard to be Seattle.
I saw so many hipsters, you guys.
I know, it's fucking terrible.
The amount of neckbeard happening in Portland.
Yeah, that's
is
part of the
fucking
reason
insane.
Portland is terrible.
Oh, no, I loved it. It was the best people watching of my life. But you go someplace and just order regular drip coffee, and it's
You looked at like an alien.
ordeal. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Anyway.
So
Like,
anyway.
just give me the brewer, I'll do it.
So anyway, there's an island all up there in Canada called Haida Gwaii, I think.
Watch your mouth.
Sorry. That off its coast, they have found, as I accidentally hit an ad, fuck you.
Oh, and those take forever to get out of.
Yeah. Anyway, they have found, using underwater imaging and sonar, they have found clusters of unnaturally rectangular shapes of rock. Made out of rock. So it indicates human manipulation of these rocks. They're currently underwater because water levels have risen.
Yes.
And they have on Haida Gwaii remains that go back to about 12,000 to 12,700 years ago. From the estimation of these, they are thinking that these are about 13,700 years old. So that would push the confirmable earliest people hitting the continent of North America, or at least in Canadian controlled parts. So it could have been still earlier in Alaska at about 13,700 years ago. So that would currently jump it in front of the recorded estimates or the reliable estimates for when people would have made it over from Finland or been dubbed and sailed all the way down the coast before stopping in South America. I'm sorry, I would have stopped sooner. There was plenty of arable land and game animals way before South America, even in the Ice Age. LA would have been great. Just saying.
The commute would have been way shorter back then.
Yeah.
Even without motorized vehicles.
Yeah. Well, with motorized vehicles in LA, it takes at least 40 minutes to get anywhere. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah. So they found these stones, and they're going to be going and doing more, and they have a automated underwater vehicle that costs $1.5 million. They're going to go do searching with, and I kind of want to play with it like it's a remote controlled robot.
I want a remote controlled robot.
But yeah, toys. In that case, but yeah, no. So it's cool that they're finding stuff underwater that could support more accurate dating of human migration.
Somebody should make me a remote controlled robot skin or robot frame that I can crochet a skin to go over. I really want this robot to walk around the table while we're talking.
So yeah,
Sorry. Exactly.
Yeah.
Then maybe you can program it to 8-bit dance.
That would be so cool. I'm picturing it in my head. Sorry.
yeah. So there we go.
So humans.
Yeah, we're pretty awesome.
We
We're
are
pretty
pretty
cool.
awesome. You know what we're really good at?
Canada.
Well, Canada's good at Canada.
They just have to be more exceptional than most other humans.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, they did produce my hero, Chris Hadfield. whose book I'm also reading. I'm reading like 3 books
Who's
right
also
now.
having a costume contest.
I know, yeah. So if you dress as an astronaut for Halloween, send a picture to Chris.
So
Hadfield's.
William, get on that.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say something to Naomi about that, because his book's great and it's geared. I think it's like a young adult level book, so someday he can read it. That's not my news though. But Chris Hadfield is one of the most amazing humans on the planet.
What's
waiting for
your
my
news,
news.
Nikki?
I'm waiting for my news to load, Mike. Why do you gotta hate? So
I'm not hating. I'm being impatient. There's a
oh, okay.
difference.
You hate waiting.
Oh, I do hate waiting.
Snap. So humans, awesome at stuff. Also space, kind of worked.
Yeah. We have
Tractor
gone
beams.
into space.
Tractor beams. They exist now. Yes, Dustin, you have a question.
No, that was my woo woo hand.
Oh, I thought you were raising your hand with a question.
Oh no.
So
'Cause Star Trek?
That was a woot woot, not
Yeah.
a what hand.
Yeah.
Physicists have created a reversible tractor beam. They made a hollow laser beam, basically. So it's it's like somehow just a laser around the outsides, and the middle is not a laser, and it can move particles. And they have these glass particles that are coated in gold. I don't know why they chose that particular combination of materials. I didn't see that anywhere in here. But so they've got this laser beam, and they can move particles that are 0.2 millimeters in diameter, distances up to 20 centimeters, which is around 100 times further than has been achieved in previous experiments. And one of the guys on here said that they could probably, since the tractor beam doesn't lose strength over distances when it diffuses, they could do it probably at a larger distance, but their lab isn't big enough to do that. So basically, they trap the particles in the center of the laser beam, and the energy from the laser travels across the surface where it's absorbed, which creates hot spots. And then when air particles collide with the hot spots, they heat up and shoot away from the particle, which then makes the particle shoot in the other direction. So they are able to move these things in all directions, bring it to a complete stop. Like, it's crazy. They said, in order to steer the particle, the team carefully controls the polarization of the laser beam to heat up the desired portion of the particle's surface. We can move smoothly from one polarization to another and thereby stop the particle or reverse its direction at will. Fucking amazeballs. And they're talking about all the applications for it. Like, they could use it to remove particles of atmospheric pollution, which, get on it, people, because that's a big deal. Or retrieving tiny dangerous particles for sampling, and they're also talking about scaling it up. They think that they could use it over meters and it would still work fine, which means I'm sure eventually we can figure out how to use it, like in space.
To catch enemy ships so they don't escape.
Yep.
Or even
Resistance is futile.
or a smaller level in case you fucking drop a tool and zero grav and it's off on its way. You can just
Get out your
Come back to
laser,
me.
your hollow laser pen, and
just don't drop that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
drop that. I'd be bad.
Hopefully, it'd just be a part of your suit at that point. Just like fucking Spider-Man style it.
Yeah. Well, or I was even thinking,
Electro thwip.
Spider beam, spider beam.
If they could figure out how to make it zero in on certain particles, it could be used for like surgery and shit like that.
Oh yeah, like almost near non-invasive.
Yeah,
surgery.
it's just really cool. Like, I don't know what the actual possibilities are, but my sci-fi nerd brain can think of all sorts of ones I wish were possible. So, or even like under the ocean. I don't know how water would interfere with something like this, but using it
Horribly.
but they might be able to figure out how to work around it, and then using it to retrieve things from wrecks and stuff like that without jolting them or damaging them with the mechanisms used to get them out of the water. That would be really cool. Anyways, tractor beams are real. Tiny ones, but it still counts. Just shrink ourselves down, make a tiny spaceship.
Then it becomes big.
I don't mean to be a party pooper, but
Yes,
I
you
mean,
do.
with that type of design, it would not work in space. Unfortunately.
Well, when the spaceship hits our atmosphere.
Oh yeah, I mean anything in the atmosphere would be fine, but outside the
Oh,
atmosphere.
because it uses the air particles. Damn it!
Yeah.
But
They could figure
They
out other
could-
things.
if they do something like that, I'd imagine it'd be something more like like magnetism based or gravity waves.
But they'd have to have pretty lights that go out with the magnetic fields. Good band, by the way, Magnetic Fields. So that people could tell that you're shooting them with a tractor beam.
Lol.
And that it should probably be green, like the Borg.
Agreed.
Yeah. Can we just make this a rule? All future tractor beams need lights that are green.
Cause sci-fi and Star Trek.
Take it, science. Anyways, they're still real in our atmosphere.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks, Party Pooper.
Dull.
The end.
Yay!
Yay!
All right.
You should have just ended it there. The end.
stop.
Yay! Click.
All right. Anything extra fun news that you can think of?
Purple.
This is the flavor.
Purple's delicious.
Well, purple is a flavor. There's like everything that's artificial grape. There's two things that taste like grapes and grape juice. Anything that's artificially flavored grape doesn't actually taste like grape. It tastes like purple.
Kind of like artificial bananas taste like...
Actually, artificial bananas actually taste like Gros Michels, which were the common banana before the Cavendish, because the Gros Michel
I actually do know quite a bit about the history of the banana because the BBC food program did an entire show on it.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And did you know that all bananas are clones of each other?
Yep.
And there's this, what's the banana plague? Is it a fungus?
It's a fungus, yeah.
There's a fungus that's wiping out all the bananas. So
It
the bananas,
already wiped out the Gros Michel and is now adapted to eat Cavendishes.
which is named after the guy he was a lord who had the first banana tree that was cloned to make these kinds of bananas.
Yeah. But now it's eating Cavendishes, so our banana supply is going.
So the bananas that we eat now, 20 years from now, people aren't going to know this kind of banana. Oh my god. High five for bananas. Oh my god, that was amazing. No, you need to listen to this episode. It's really cool. Like, they go off on it and they travel to the islands where they grow them. And yeah, bitches! Dropping knowledge on your asses.
Banana-tastic.
Banana-tastic. There are 4 bananas on our table right now, and we are talking about them, and it's great.
This is bananas are like the awesomest fruit.
Is that banana in your pocket?
No, it's in my bag next to me.
Okay.
So she is happy to see you.
I don't have a wiener, and you can't...
Everybody's happy to see me. What are you talking about?
So bananas are clones.
Yeah.
It's going to put little clone
Right?
super heads
Think
on.
about it, though. They don't have seeds.
No, they do.
Well, but not...
There's the the little tiny black
Yeah,
dots
but
in a
they're
banana.
not functioning seeds.
No, they're not functioning seeds, but they're seeds.
So they seriously, like, splice the trees, and I don't remember what it's called when you do that, but...
So do bananas not grow in the wild?
No, they do. There's
Just not as we know them.
The Cavendish is not the only type of banana by a long
This
shot.
has been specifically bred so that it doesn't have prominent seeds.
Doesn't have prominent seeds. Again, the Cavendish will survive the trip to North America and not be ripe yet, but will ripen off the vine, and is also hard to bruise compared to other bananas.
That's why the other bananas you see in the store are always darker brown.
Yeah, because they're far more ripe
Yep.
at the store. Because a yellow banana is actually not ripe. It has to have.
But it tastes better than a brown banana.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Fighting. Green on the ends.
Slightly brown banana.
Nope, green on the ends.
About 50%. About 50% brown is a properly ripe banana.
Don't care, green on the ends.
Green banana. Oh,
Green bananas are nasty.
No, just the ends.
Bananas do not need to be crunchy.
No.
there needs to be no green on
No.
any banana.
Like this. Like this.
Far too not ripe yet.
Nope, that's how I
I
like
could
them.
handle that, but I prefer a
This
little
is
riper.
the only way I like bananas.
See
Not a
that-
banana. I just realized there's 4 bananas on the table and 4 of us.
Hey, the ninth doctor thought bananas were good.
But
I like bananas.
but anyway,
But apples are rubbish.
Apples are rubbish.
he also liked custard on fish sticks. I'm not going to take his advice on food.
He was regenerative at the time.
Oh, excuses,
Give a-
excuses.
Give him a break.
But anyway,
He
yeah.
was going through a sensitive period.
But like there's like common bananas like actually in Asia are red bananas, and a really common one that doesn't make it out of like South America is what's called the ladyfinger,
Oh, those are good.
which they're literally like a 3-inch long, 4-inch long
You can
banana.
find them sometimes in stores.
Sometimes, but they're hard to find.
I've seen them in Trader Joe's.
Oh, well, that makes
The
sense.
kiwi berries.
And the lady fingers actually have a taste more similar to a Nilla wafer than what we think of as a banana flavor.
They're really good. No, bananas are actually really fascinating if
I felt
you
that
know
deserved a
about
second
them.
one.
Yeah, it did. Like, it sounds ridiculous that we're talking about bananas for this long, but they're actually really interesting if you actually look up the history of them
Yeah.
and how they become so genetically modified that they cannot, because they're all clones. What I was saying about the fungus,
Is if it can get one, it can get any.
yeah,
other.
they're all like prone to getting this fungus because they all come from the same original plant. So the banana you're eating now is an exact clone of the first kind of this banana that people tried. Like, I'm sorry, like,
Is that why the taste is consistent?
Yes.
yeah,
That is
because they're
totally.
all clones of each other.
Yeah.
Like, I don't necessarily like bananas all that much unless they're, like I said, green on the ends. That's the only time I like them. So I don't like artificial banana flavoring because I don't like that overly sweet banana flavor.
Okay, but I'm just saying
Or
that's
the
what
mushiness.
that's
I don't
what-
like that.
Jen's the same way though. She likes her bananas green.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like saying what,
I've
what
always
the
been like that.
what is now the artificial banana flavor is actually what a Gros Michel tasted
Yeah.
like, not a Cavendish.
But what I'm saying is that even though I'm not necessarily a huge fan of bananas as a food, as a subject, it is absolutely fucking fascinating to me. Like, we should put up a link. I should
You should
write this
do an
down.
entire podcast on
No,
bananas.
I need to
we
post
could actually.
the BBC Food Program, spelled with an E at the end of program. They do
And 2 M's, right?
Yeah, they do these
because
shows.
Britain.
Yeah, they do these shows. Well, they'll pick a topic like artisan beers or bread or bananas, and they'll go on this adventure and talk to you about it. It's like the Food Network for your ears. It's Food Network meets History Channel for your ears,
There's a
Except for no Pawn Stars.
and with a charming British accent on the lady that hosts it.
there's a bread company in Butte, Montana that's been using the same bread starter for the last 150 years.
That's why I geek
Amateurs
out
they need
about.
to catch up.
That's why I geek out about San
Could be
Francisco
300.
sourdough.
I could be wrong.
It's
It's
not,
been a long time.
It's not 300.
I don't know.
I'm just saying that they need to catch up to San Francisco.
Yeah,
Oh wait, they
that's-
can't because they're not in San Francisco.
That's
and-
why I geek out about San
Nobody makes
Francisco
better
sourdough,
sourdough.
which that sourdough, by the way, was brought across the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
It just happens that the San Francisco Bay Area has these awesome mixture of salt, water, air, and bacteria.
Really good for sourdough.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, when I got into making sourdough bread, I did a lot of research on it, and that's fascinating, too. We could do a whole show on food science, and Mason and I could probably rant about that. Yeah. And you guys could just blink
we
at us. like
we
you are
talked
now.
about having a cooking episode, like
That was my idea, I believe.
maybe next time. We'll do it for November.
Yeah, there we go.
But I want to link people to the BBC food program, so don't let me forget
We've got-
because it's a good episode.
If we don't do it, because 2 weeks is going to be initiative, so
Okay.
at the 4-week mark, that'll give us plenty of time.
Yeah, we'll do a food show because
That'll be good, just in time for Christmas.
food science is fucking
Thanksgiving.
fascinating.
Thanksgiving.
Like,
Okay.
it's amazing.
All right, so let's
Okay.
wrap up the new show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
sorry.
right. Well,
bananas.
new show.
Oh
Ramon.
yeah, by the way, bananas are awesome if you couldn't
No,
tell.
seriously, do research on this. We're not just weird. I mean, we are, but it's really fascinating.
Subtitle: Banana Love.
Oh yeah.
All right, for the Nerd Effect News Show, we have Ben,
Nakamoga.
Mason Ireland.
Nikki Brindle
and I am Dustin Vancouver. We'll catch you guys on the flip side
of the banana peel.
Oh shit, son!
Would that be the slip side?
Oh! Mic drop.